In Demon Slayer, strength is not a blessing. It is a consequence. Every Hashira stands at the peak of human power, yet none of them are truly free. They do not fight because they are fearless. They fight because they have already lost everything that made life gentle. In this world, demons fear death, humans accept it, and the Hashira, they prepare for it. Each Hashira carries three things: their overwhelming strength, their unhealed trauma, and a quiet understanding that they will not survive this war. This is not a story about heroes who save the world and live happily ever after. This is a story about people who chose to burn their lives away so others could see tomorrow. What a Hashira really is. Hashira does not mean champion. It means pillar. A pillar exists to support weight until it breaks. Hashira are not expected to live long. They are expected to hold the line until their bodies collapse. And every single one of them knows this. That knowledge shapes how they fight, how they love, and how they face death. Yome Himejima. Faith built from guilt. Yome Himejima is the strongest Hashira, physically, mentally, spiritually. And yet, he considers himself a sinner. Blind since childhood, Yome lived quietly, caring for orphaned children in a temple. He believed kindness was enough to protect them. He was wrong. One night, a demon entered the temple. The children panicked. They ran. Every single one of them died. Yome survived, and society punished him for it. From that moment on, Yome's strength was no longer a gift. It became penance. He prays not for victory, but for forgiveness. To Gyome, death is not frightening. It is judgment. If he dies protecting others, perhaps his soul will finally be clean. That is why, when death comes for him, he kneels and accepts it without resentment. Giyu Tomioka, the man who lived by mistake. Giyu Tomioka believes he should be dead, not metaphorically, literally. His older sister died to save him from a demon, and ever since that night, Giyu has carried a single thought: I am living a life that was never meant to be mine. Unlike other Hashira, Giyu does not seek honor. He does not seek recognition. He does not even believe he deserves the title of Hashira. His strength is quiet. His pain is silent. When Giyu fights, he does not shout. He does not rage. He simply moves forward, because stopping would mean thinking. Giyu does not fear death. He is waiting for it. Not because he wants to die, but because he believes it would finally make things fair. Kyojuro Rengoku, a flame that chose to burn. Kyojuro is different. He smiles, he laughs, he speaks loudly and proudly. But that brightness is not ignorance. It is a decision. Rengoku grew up watching his father collapse under grief. He learned early that despair is contagious, so he chose the opposite. Rengoku understood something terrifyingly simple: life is short, so burn it brightly. When he faced Akaza, Rengoku knew he would die. And still, he stood his ground. Not because he believed he would win, but because retreat would betray who he was. Rengoku's death was not tragic. It was complete. He died exactly as he lived, protecting others, without regret. Muichiro Tokito, a child who accepted the end. Muichiro Tokito forgot his past for a reason. Memory was pain. Memory was blood. Memory was loss. As a child, his family was slaughtered by demons. Survival cost him his innocence. When his memories returned, so did the truth. He never expected to grow old. Muichiro does not dramatize death. He does not resist it. To him, death is simply the final step of duty. And when that moment comes, he faces it with a calm that is almost frightening.
Mist breathing.
Shinobu Kocho, a smile made of poison. Shinobu Kocho smiles more than any other Hashira. And that is exactly why she is the most dangerous. Her sister was murdered by Doma. Shinobu never let herself grieve. Instead, she planned. Shinobu knew she could never overpower an upper moon physically, so she turned her own body into a weapon. She did not walk into battle hoping to survive. She walked in knowing she would die. Shinobu did not face death bravely. She weaponized it. Her smile was not happiness. It was resolve. Mitsuri Kanroji. Fear, love, and the courage to stay soft. Mitsuri Kanroji does not look like a warrior shaped by war. She is emotional. She cries easily. She loves deeply. And in a world like Demon Slayer, that should have gotten her killed early. Mitsuri was born different. Stronger than normal, hungrier than normal, brighter than society was willing to accept. She was told that her strength made her undesirable, that her appetite made her strange, that her heart made her weak. So Mitsuri learned to shrink herself, until she found the Demon Slayer core. For the first time, her strength was not a flaw. Her emotions were not a liability. Her love was not something to hide. Unlike other Hashira, Mitsuri does not face death with acceptance or resignation. She is afraid, and that fear is honest. She does not want to die. She wants to fall in love. She wants to grow old. She wants to be happy. But when the moment comes, she fights anyway. Mitsuri proves something vital. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move forward while fear screams inside your chest. Her death is not poetic. It is tragic. And that is exactly why it matters. Obanai Iguro. Love born from self-loathing. Obanai Iguro does not believe he deserves happiness. Born into a cursed family that worshipped a demon, Obanai grew up imprisoned, both physically and mentally. He survived because others died for him, and survival to Obanai felt like theft. He despised himself. He despised his bloodline. He despised his existence until he met Mitsuri. Mitsuri represented everything Obanai believed he was not allowed to have: purity, warmth, hope. He loved her silently because he believed loving her openly would stain her. Obanai does not dream of a future. He dreams of an ending, a death where he can finally confess, a death where his feelings no longer burden anyone. When Obanai faces death, it is not with fear or peace. It is with longing, and when he finally dies beside Mitsuri, he achieves the only happiness he ever allowed himself. Tengen Uzui, the Hashira who chose to live. Tengen Uzui is an anomaly. He is loud, flashy, excessive, and more importantly, he survives. Raised as a shinobi, Tengen was trained to abandon emotion, to kill family if ordered, to obey without question. That upbringing destroyed him. So Tengen rebelled. He rejected the idea that dying in battle was the highest honor. He rejected pointless sacrifice. He rejected glorified death. When Tengen retires, some see it as cowardice, but it is not. Tengen is the only Hashira who openly says, "I want to live." In a story where death is everywhere, choosing life is its own form of defiance. Tengen teaches us that heroism is not only found in sacrifice, sometimes it is found in survival. Sanemi Shinazugawa, rage as a reason to exist. Sanemi Shinazugawa is violence held together by skin. His anger is constant, explosive, uncontrolled, and it exists for one reason: guilt. Sanemi killed his own mother after she became a demon. He saved his brother, but destroyed himself in the process. Sanemi believes kindness is dangerous. That love only creates weakness, so he pushes everyone away. His rage is not strength, it is armor. When Sanemi faces death, he does not welcome it. He fights it violently, because dying would mean admitting that his suffering was meaningless. And when he finally breaks down, we see the truth. Sanemi was never angry at the world. He was angry that he survived.
Rising dust storm.
How each Hashira faces death. Each Hashira reaches the same end, but by a different path. Rengoku faces death with pride. Shinobu turns death into strategy. Gyu accepts it quietly. Gyomei kneels before it. Muichiro meets it calmly. Mitsuri fears it. Obanai longs for it. Sanemi fights it. Tengen refuses it. None of them are wrong, because death is not a test of strength. It is a mirror, and each Hashira sees something different reflected back. The meaning of death in Demon Slayer. Demons fear death because they cling to existence. Humans accept death because they understand meaning. Demon Slayer does not glorify dying young. It mourns it. Every Hashira death is a reminder. This world is cruel, and kindness is expensive, but that cost is what makes humanity worth saving. The true role of the Hashira. Hashira are not legends. They are people who chose to keep going even after life gave them every reason to stop. They are not fearless. They are not invincible. They are not eternal. They are pillars. And pillars are meant to fall, so the world above them can stand. That is the tragedy and the beauty of the Hashira.